You know, when you talk about the most legendary racetracks on the planet, there's one name that just stands above all the others, the Nürburgring. And let me tell you, this is so much more than just a ribbon of asphalt. It's almost a century of motorsport history, literally carved into the mountains of Germany. It's a legend, it's a monster, and it's the ultimate proving ground. Okay, so take a look at this map. This is our guide for today. At first glance, yeah, it kind of looks like a tangled mess of spaghetti, right? But believe me, every single twist, every turn on this thing, it tells a story. We're going to use this very map to navigate through decades of history of a place that has both thrilled and terrified the best drivers in the world for nearly 100 years. So where did it get that awesome nickname? Well, you can thank the one and only Sir Jackie Stewart for that. The story goes that back in '68, the Formula One legend was flying over the circuit. He looks down and all he sees is this intimidating track surrounded by dense forest, shrouded in rain and fog, and he just goes, "It's gonna be the green hell this weekend." He absolutely nailed it. That name stuck for good reason, because it was perfect. All right, so how on earth did this beast of a track even come to exist? Well, for that, we gotta jump in a time machine and go all the way back to the 1920s. Germany wanted to show off its engineering muscle and, at the same time, create a bunch of jobs. The plan? It was simple and totally bonkers. Build the most challenging racetrack in the entire world. And you know what's crazy? They built it fast, like unbelievably fast. Just look at this timeline. Construction starts in 1925, and by 1927, just 2 years later, cars and bikes are already roaring around it. That's incredible. And it didn't take long for everyone to figure out where the real challenge was. By 1929, all eyes were on that treacherous North Loop. It became the place for Grand Prix racing. Now, here's something a lot of people don't actually know. The original ring, or the Gesamtstrecke, as they called it, wasn't just one track, it was two. You had the main event, the star of the show, the big one, the Nordschleife, or North Loop. We're talking 22.8 kilometers of pure terror. And then you had its little sibling, the Südschleife, the South Loop. It was shorter, sure, and a bit safer, but let's be honest, it just never had the same rock star appeal. So yeah, it was settled. The Nordschleife was king. It became this place where legends were forged, where a driver's raw talent was put under the most intense microscope imaginable. If you won here, you were a god. So let's take a quick virtual lap and see exactly what made this place so special. Okay, pull up our map again. We're going to zoom in around kilometer 12. Right here, this is one of the most famous, most photographed corners in the history of racing. And boy, does it have a great story. This is the carousel. And it's not just a turn, it's basically a concrete bowl tipped on its side. So the legend goes like this. This absolute racing hero from before the war, Rudolf Caracciola, he figures something out. He realizes if he drops his inside wheels into this little drainage ditch, he can basically hook his car in and get shot through the corner like a slingshot. Genius. Of course, everyone started copying him, and eventually they just paved the whole thing over with that steep concrete banking you see today. It's literally a monument to his cleverness. All right, let's keep moving on our lap. We're heading just past the 9-kilometer mark now, to a corner with a much, much darker reputation. Its name is Bergwerk, which means the mine. And it's this tight right-hander that comes at the end of a ridiculously fast straight. It's one of those places that commands maximum respect. And in 1976, the entire world was shown just how dangerous this place could be. This was the spot where Niki Lauda had his horrific, fiery crash. It was in that super fast section right before the corner itself. I mean, he survived, miraculously, but the crash was a massive wake-up call for everyone. It was the moment motorsport had to admit the Formula One cars were just too fast for the green hell. That was it. That was the last F1 race ever held on the old Nordschleife. So Lauda's crash, that was the end of an era, no question. If the Nürburgring wanted to keep hosting the biggest races in the world, something big, something radical had to change. And, well, it did. The decision came down from on high. A brand new track had to be built. A modern one. One that actually met modern safety standards, with huge runoff areas and proper access for emergency crews. And to build it, they needed space, which meant that the old, mostly forgotten Südschleife had to go. So if we go back to our map, you can see exactly what happened. This new track, the GP-Strecke, it was built right on top of where the old pits and the entire South Loop used to be. You see that bright red line? That's the modern circuit. It's such a stark contrast to that huge, sprawling green monster of the Nordschleife, isn't it? A whole new chapter for the ring had begun. But here's the thing. Getting rid of the Süßschleife didn't kill the spirit of the Nürburgring, not at all. In fact, what it did was create this totally unique place with two personalities, a dual identity that is absolutely thriving today. So today, you've basically got two rings for the price of one. You've got the GP Strecke, which is this state-of-the-art, super safe circuit that hosts all the big international races. But then, you've still got the old Nordschleife. And that's the soul of the place. It's the ultimate test track for every car company on Earth. It hosts the legendary 24-hour race. And, what might be the coolest part of all, it's a public toll road. That's right. For a handful of euros, you, yes you, can take your own car for a lap of the green hell. How cool is that? But let's be absolutely clear about one thing. Even with this shiny new GP track, the old Nordschleife never, ever lost its edge. It is still the ultimate benchmark. It's the gold standard that every single high-performance car is measured against. Its reputation as the most challenging, most demanding piece of road on the entire planet, oh yeah, that's stronger than ever. So that makes you wonder, right? What's the absolute limit? What's the fastest anyone has ever conquered this beast? For 35 years, the answer was this number right here. 6 minutes, 11.13 seconds. That was the mind-bendingly fast lap set by Stefan Bellof in a Porsche 956 all the way back in 1983. It was a record so fast, people thought it was literally unbreakable. It's like a monument from a different era, a time when both the cars and the tracks were just wild. And that right there is the heart of the Nürburgring's incredible story today. It's got this split personality. So it really leaves us with just one question for you. If I handed you the keys to any car in the world right now, which ring would you choose? Would you go for the modern, high-tech Grand Prix circuit with all its safety and precision? Or would you take on the history, the danger, and all the glory of the one, the only, the legendary green hell?